Welcome back, everyone, to a really hot Saturday afternoon here at the Big Top. It's coming up on 1 o'clock. I'll get into details of what we sold and where we're sitting at, but we have just brought in a ton of stuff today. So first, let me show you some of the new stuff that we just purchased, guys. All right, guys, first up, we got 8 Xbox One games in. We had one of our normals come in, and he's getting rid of his Xbox One, brought me the games. He said he may be back tomorrow to trade in the Xbox One. We will have to see. We then had someone bring in a PS4 game, Infamous Second Son, and then somebody traded in Dead Space 3 Limited Edition for the 360. We then had the Junkman come in, and he pretty much traded in his complete retro collection. So now let me show you the stuff, guys, that I got. Alright, guys, next up are the N64 games that we got from the Junkman. The best ones are probably Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario 64. Some other decent ones as well, though. Yep, this is kind of crazy. This is all the systems he brought us. I kind of just stacked them up over here to get them out of the way. It was an aftermarket NES, an original Super Nintendo, N64, Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, and a PS2 with some extra controllers. A couple of the plug-and-play systems, which was kind of cool. I think there's also a 2600 plug-and-play in here as well. Alright, guys, here are some of the NES games. My wife was still working on some. Here are just some commons, and here are some of the better ones that we got. As you can see, a couple Castlevania games and a Super Mario number 2. And here are the rest of the games. We got some just common NES games. We got the second edition of Metroid. And here are the PS2 and original Xbox games we got. Alright, guys, earlier in the day we got some GameCube games, and actually pretty good stuff. Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, a Pokemon Channel, and a loose copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Then a guy brought in about 100 games. We looked them all up for him, got him a price. It probably took us 45 minutes to look them up, and then we could only agree on prices for these 4 games. Crimson Tears for the PS2, Need for Speed Undercover for the PS3, Plants vs. Zombies for the 360, and Resident Evil Director's Cut for the PS1. Well, as you can see, I am home now. Today was just absolutely crazy. That's why there wasn't many updates after I showed you the stuff that we picked up, just because I just didn't have time with all the stuff coming in and all the sales we had today. Didn't really have much time to do any filming at all. That's why I'm kind of doing a little wrap-up for day one right now. We ended up with 34 sales today at $778, so another amazing Saturday for us. I mean, heck, sometimes that's all we do for both days. So we'll have to see what Sunday brings for us. So I'm now going to go over a few things that we sold today. The gentleman who brought in, what did he bring in? I think it was the Xbox One games. He brought all like 6 or 8 Xbox One games in. He ended up picking up the Metal Slug second mission for the game Neo Geo Pocket Color. He was the one that bought that with Sonic Adventure, Pocket Adventure last weekend as well, so I don't have any more Neo Geo Color games. Then a lady came in and picked up 30 comics. That's probably one of the most I think we've sold out there at one time. It was like 35, 36 bucks for all those. I gave her some free ones as well because she picked up so many. We then sold the 2 Commodore 64 bundles that I had. Then he also picked up the Commodore 128. Ended up being about $170 for all of that. Really happy to see those go because my wife was kind of worried we'd get stuck with them, but I really, I knew the right person would have to come in to pick those up, but today he did. We also sold my N64 system with Rogue Squadron. We sold Mega Man 3. The kid that bought that also picked up some Atari games as well, 2600 games. Then we sold Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think we had 3 or 4 copies of that. That was our last one for the PS2. Then we sold 4 of our more expensive Skylanders figures. We sold Far Cry compilation for the PS3. The Junkman bought that for me. He really likes the Far Cry games. We looked them up and seen which ones were included, and I think he played 3 and beat it, but he hadn't beaten 2, and 3 also had that. I think it was can't remember the name. I know it was Blood something that came with it as well. We then sold Gradius 3 and Pilot Wings for the Super Nintendo. Then a kid with his father came in. They picked up Madden 25 and Destiny for the Xbox One. Then he picked up Assassin's Creed 3 for the 360. We then sold the Junkman's N64 system. It had the memory expansion in it. The gentleman wanted that. And he also picked up Super Mario 64, which also came from the Junkman. So we got some of our money back was a pretty big buy that I got all from him. It was like 300 bucks for all the stuff I bought from him, but that was like 80 bucks just for those two items. And then we sold an NES aftermarket system, one of the Gamers Tech systems. He picked up Othello and Yoshi's Cookie, and then he also picked up 6 PS1 demo discs, Yahoo. They were like $2 a piece. Wasn't sure we were ever going to sell those, but he actually came to the flea market specifically looking for those, so I thought that was kind of cool. So guys, now stay tuned for Sunday. Welcome back everyone to another hot Sunday morning here at the Big Top. It's currently 10:30. We're sitting at $12. We had a buddy of ours come in, Mike from Riverview. He has a reselling shop over there for video games over in Riverview, Florida. He picked up Metroid for the NES from me. I let him have it for 12 bucks. The reason is, sucker's big. He gave me a mystery box to open up for 5 bucks. So guys, let me get everything set up and we'll open up and see what's inside. Alright guys, I've cut the box open, so let's see what's inside. Looks like some controllers. We have got like a quick shot, it looks like for the Atari computers, Commodore computers. I am not sure. This is for the video command. What kind of end is on it? Same thing. Huh. That's kind of neat looking. Look at that, Atari 7800 controller. I actually need that. We've got a couple systems without controllers. What else have we got in here? Looks like another quick shot. Yep, same kind of end. Another quick shot. Okay, this is the driving paddle for like the Indy 500 game for the 2600. That's kind of cool. Feels pretty good. And another quick shot. And I'm not sure what that is. So yep, that's it guys. For 5 bucks I got all those controllers. I think that's actually a pretty good deal. Alright guys, we just took in some PC games, some decent stuff, as you can see here. Skyrim, Sims 2, Shogun 2, Civilization 5, StarCraft 2 and its expansion, Neverwinter Nights Platinum, and Gun, and Age of Empires 3. Well guys, it's coming up on noon. We're sitting at 167. We've sold quite a bit of stuff. Unfortunately, we've taken in quite a bit of stuff too, but definitely some good stuff. We sold Madden 25 for the PS4. We sold Streets of Rage loose for the Genesis. They also picked up Resident Evil Outbreak for the PS2. We sold Mortal Kombat Complete Edition and Little Big Planet 2 for the PS3. We sold Aladdin for the Super Nintendo and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. We sold Uncharted for the PS Vita. We sold Black Ops 3 for the PS3. And we sold Star Ocean for the 360. So guys, once things start selling again, I will let you know. Okay guys, we've got a few other things we just took in. We took in a Retron Duo portable, which was kind of neat. It's still boxed with 2 Super Nintendo controllers, as you can see, which is kind of neat as well. He also brought in a Retron 5 I took in. Then the gentleman who sold us all the Xbox One games, he came back and brought his Xbox One system, which is also really cool. I may take this home. The Wi-Fi out here is not working, so I couldn't get it configured. But he says it works. I trust him. He's been out here a million times. He also brought 2 really expensive original Xbox games, even though they are loose. Let me show you those. Those are Futurama and Conquer Live and Reloaded. Well guys, it is coming up on 1:30. We are sitting at 326. Not too bad so far today. Again, some of the stuff we've sold here recently, we sold 3 N64 games. We sold Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Mythologies for the N64. Then 2 Turok games for the N64. We actually sold the Atari 2600 system, the Black Vader system. It went out with 5 free games. We sold a wireless 360 controller, and they picked up Mortal Kombat Complete Edition for the 360, brand new factory sealed. The gentleman who has been buying Game Boy games from us, he came back and picked up 3 more of our pricier Game Boy Color games. And we sold Plants vs. Zombies Modern or Garden Warfare for the PS4. So guys, again, if anything else sells, I'll let you know. Well, guys, as you can see, it is Monday night. We had a few sales before we left on Sunday. We had somebody come in and spend about 30 minutes in the store and didn't buy anything. It was kind of frustrating because we were trying to get out of there. So here's the wrap up on the end of Sunday. We ended up at $455, which isn't too bad. Some of the stuff we sold at the very end, we sold a Retron 1, one of the aftermarket NES systems. We sold Custom Robo for the GameCube. That didn't last very long, which I didn't expect it to. We sold a copy of Donkey Kong Country 1. We also sold one of the premium Super Nintendo aftermarket controllers that we have, the brand new ones. And we sold a copy of Halo 5 for the Xbox One. So on Saturday we did $778. And on Sunday we did $455 for a grand total of $1233. So definitely a really good weekend for us again. I have decided to keep the Xbox One. My wife says, yeah, she knows I wanted to get one anyway. We got it for a really good deal. We also can use it to test Xbox One games since we didn't have any. It's nice if we get any that may have a few scratches on it. Not sure if they work. We now at least can test them and make sure they work. There is one game I decided to keep out of all those games we got as well. Pretty obvious which one it is. I've talked about it before. There was one game I wanted to get for the Xbox One, and that is it. That is the Rare Replay. I've spent about 3 or 4 hours messing around with it. It is really cool. Really happy I got that. I thought that was a really good deal. Now I'm going to probably go through some of my games for the Xbox 360 and a couple for the original Xbox. Get rid of those since they are included in this pack. No reason to keep them since they're in this pack here, and I can just keep them installed on my Xbox One if I want to play them. Today, meaning Monday, the wife and I went out to eat a bite dinner. We stopped at the GameStop. There was something there. Really happy we did stop by. It's normally like $50 at GameStop. Now they're selling it exactly for the same price that Amazon sells it for, so I went ahead and picked it up. That is the Legend of Heroes Trails of the Cold Steel. This is the collector's edition. Really, really happy to get that. So guys, thanks again for watching.